Mamma mia! It's me, Mario! We're here to review a Mario Brothers movie. No, I'm just kidding, guys. It's not Mario. It's me, Rowdy Retro Viewer here. And I'm sorry, I had to do my Super Mario impression for the sake of this review, and I just couldn't resist. But anyways, I'm here to share my thoughts on the live-action Mario Brothers movie, and not to be confused with the animated movie of the same name. Okay, just wanted to make that clear. Okay, buckle up and hang on tight. The discovery of a parallel universe launches you into the adventures of a lifetime. Mario and Luigi, two wacky plumbers, undertake a daring quest to save a princess in a Dino Hatton. Oh boy. A hidden world where the inhabitants evolved from dinosaurs. Mario, played by Bob Hoskins from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Luigi, John Leguizamo from Regarding Harry, whatever that movie is, face a deadly challenges from a diabolical Lizard King, Dozen Hopper from Hoosiers, and must battle a giant reptilian Goombas, outwits mischief thugs, and undermine a sinister scheme to take over the world. Blast off for non-stop excitement with the Super Mario Brothers, the live-action thrill ride that dazzles moviegoers everywhere. And just to be clear, when it says princess, it was actually talking about Princess Daisy in the movie. Focus, camera! Yeah, Princess Daisy. Now look, hear me out. I know that this live-action Super Mario Brothers movie might not be a great film in some people's opinions, which I guess I can understand why. It probably doesn't have much to do with the game. But I think, for me, this one is kind of a guilty pleasure, an underrated film, or a misunderstood film. Okay, I'm pretty sure that all three of those things I said might sound a bit redundant when you think about it. And I know some of you guys are already in the comments pointing that out right now, about how it's redundant to call this film a guilty pleasure, misunderstood, or underrated film, which I totally get it. But for me, as someone who's not like a big Super Mario Brothers fan, I mean, other than playing Mario Kart Wii and watching the Super Mario Brothers Super Show on Netflix, I can still have a good time with just how strange this film is. I mean, to be fair, it does have a lot of talent involved. Well, sort of. And it is somewhat close to the video game. It does have Mario and Luigi's iconic color schemes. And I will admit that the Koopa Troopa dinosaur characters do look a little bit interesting. And I know that some people are going to complain that Yoshi doesn't look like his video game counterpart, because it kind of resembles more like a prehistoric dinosaur. But think about it. When it comes to making movies, especially the ones that think about it, making a video game movie based on a pre-existing property can be a little bit tricky. But still, it's worth something to pull off. And yes, I have been familiar with Bob Hoskins' career for a while now. I mean, the only other film that I knew him from, other than this, was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And as for John Leguizamo, I hope I said his name right, I'm slowly catching up with what he's been doing. I mean, he was the voice of Sid in the Ice Age movies, and Bruno from Disney's Encanto, for example. Now, for Dennis Hopper, other than this, he did do some voiceover work in a god-awful cartoon pilot for Cartoon Network called The Groovinians. And trust me, and I guess you can find that Groovinians pilot on YouTube, or check out Huey Toomore's review of that special. And yeah, it is awful. But anyways, I'm getting off topic here. So yeah, the Super Mario Brothers live action film is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. Like I said, it might not be like a great film. There's still some issues that are probably noticeable in the film. But sometimes you can't blame the filmmakers for at least trying to make this movie perfect. And yes, I know that some people would probably prefer the animated Mario Brothers movie that came out 31 years later. 30 years later. Yeah, this film came out in 2023, a year ago. And the live action movie was actually 30 years old back in 2023. So yeah, I don't know. The only thing that kind of bugs me is that this film did end up on a cliffhanger, which I'm suppose it was meant to hint that a sequel to this film was somewhat supposed to happen back in the 90s. But I'm guessing the film must have bombed horribly, but that a sequel was never made. And I kind of do like to see a sequel to this movie if it did happen. You know? Yes, I know and like I said a minute ago, I guess people like to prefer the animated Super Mario Brothers movie, because it probably did a better job being more faithful to the original video games than the live action movie did. Which I totally get it. But I don't know. I know I like the animated movie a lot. I really do. But I guess I am a bit of a sucker for the live action film. Since it has been a very long time since I've seen the live action movie. Yeah, I was thinking about what I should be watching today, and just decided to check out those Super Mario Brothers live action movies and see if it still holds up. And after 31 years, or at least 30 and a half years, depending on how you look at it, I guess this film is kind of like a time capsule of the 90s. You know? And yes, I'm still aware that movies being based on video games is common nowadays. I already shared my thoughts on the Five Nights at Freddy's and Sonic the Hedgehog movies. But anyways, other than that, the live-action Super Mario Brothers movie might not be 100% perfect, but honestly, I can still have a good time with it. It's kind of like one of those films that can be a guilty pleasure, but often be a bit misunderstood or underrated. Kind of like how I often defend Scoob and Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. Anyways, let me know down in the comments below if you guys have any memories of the live-action Super Mario Brothers movie. Which I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of comments saying that they prefer the animated movie over the live-action movie. Depending on what people think of it. And rest in peace, Bob Hoskins. He will be missed.